Alright, so this video is going to show you how to create a rubric within Google Classroom. So I'm actually going to go back on an old assignment and make some edits to that to include a rubric. So I'm going in my Google Classroom back to an assignment from the 24th, which is the self-reflection project. So I'm going to go back on that assignment, and you can do it from classwork or stream on top and edit that assignment. So even though I am in edit mode, when you're creating an assignment, you'll notice this looks exactly the same. So on the side, you'll see all of your options for scoring, and when you scroll all the way down, you see that option to add a rubric. So I'm going to go ahead and click that and create a rubric. Once I create a rubric, it's going to open up this screen that is going to allow me to add that in. So I am just going to title this rubric Self-Reflection Project because that is required. So now I can add some information for my first criterion. So if I look at the rubric, the first level that they're going to be graded on is content. Now this isn't required, but I'm gonna put that in just so I can keep track of all three different sections. So from here on out, all I'm gonna do is copy and paste in the descriptions here. So I'm gonna change this to 4 points and put in that criteria for 4 points. Now you can add levels on either side. I'm actually gonna have mine go up. So if I don't want that one, I can just delete that level and go this way. And then I'm just going to paste in once again the criteria for level 3. You don't necessarily need to title the level. Sometimes I will title it like for a math test. So the points I'll put on there and the level title, I'll just put the number and repeat it again. But I'm going to go all the way down and include all of those across the way until I hit our criteria for 0. So at this point, because our rubric's already made, it's just a matter of pasting in that criteria. And that section is good. So that's all about the content. Now, we have 2 more categories, and obviously this does not fit that. So when you look at the bottom, it gives you that option to add a criterion. That's an option for you to add another section of the rubric. So when we're talking math tests, each criterion I do for the math test would be each task, each question you ask the kids. So now I'm on the second one, which is presentation. And while I'm here, I'm just going to start by copying 4. And I'm going to note that this is the presentation section of the rubric. 4 points. This is what kids do. So I'm just going to keep going on with this process all the way to 0 and then add criterion again. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and save it so I can show you guys really quick what it looks like on the student end. So the nice thing about this, when we think about projects moving forward, is you can always go back and edit your rubric. So we can always go back and add more to a rubric or change it if we need to. So I'm actually going to switch. I have a student profile that I've logged into from my device just to see what the student access looks like. So when I go into her Google Classroom, I'm going to go on to that assignment from the 24th. And view it. So obviously I haven't scored it for her yet, but you guys can see that it's showing up on her thing, and she can expand that criteria and see what those expectations are. Now, if I were to go in and grade it, these would be lit up green, and this little bar here would also have the section or the category she scored in highlighted as well, so she knows how much her score is. The only other thing that I would also mention about that rubric is just deciding what way you want it to go. So if I wanted to go back and edit this rubric again, you can either have them go descending or ascending. I just have it match whichever paper rubric we attach to the assignment. So that is a quick overview of how to add a rubric to Google Classroom.